Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call all Yahweh, Shemi Awashai, Shemi Kokodash. Double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders, great millstone, who through the Holy Spirit continue to give us His truth. Salutations to the Akib out there on the highways and byways, pushing His truth with all honesty and sincerity, while trying to wake up the remaining hope for the elect. This is Nama with the DC camp. And as everyone should know by now, former President Trump's home was raided down in Florida. Uh, wow. Uh, I don't know if it's their intent to actually give this guy, well, it's a witch hunt, you know. And I'm no fan of this guy, but this is from Politico.com by way of Newsbreak. But as it stands now, he's, unless something really drastic happens, the demon Pretz, all right, will actually have to do something really, I don't know. It's amazing. I was thinking too of this guy that they just assassinated, one of the leaders of Al-Qaeda. Isn't it funny that in times like these, they always find some devil, according to them, to bag and tag and get the people's, ire all up. Amazing, isn't it? Anyway, it says Trump's Mar-a-Lago home raided by FBI in unprecedented move. Is that at issue is the former president's handling of materials taken from the White House to his Florida estate. All right. The FBI executed a search warrant at the Mar-a-Lago estate of former President Donald Trump on Monday as part of the investigation into the alleged mishandling of White House records, including potentially classified material, according to two people familiar with the matter. The Florida raid, which one of the people said took hours, resulted in the seizure of paper records, according to one person familiar with the development, who also noted that Trump attorney Christina Bobb was present during the search. It was a historic step by the Justice Department and FBI to investigate the residence of a former president who is battling an increasingly complex thicket of legal threats. No former president, particularly one who is openly considering another bid for the Oval Office, has faced such a public law enforcement action, which immediately led to calls among his allies for recriminations and even the elimination of federal law enforcement agencies. They even broke into my safe, Trump himself said in a lengthy statement decrying the FBI search and comparing it to Watergate. Trump, who was the first to confirm the FBI action, said in a statement that his resort was under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. And of course, this just sets the stage for all these Tea Party and all these other idiots, his backers. And even more, something else we've been telling you for the longest, the division amongst our enemies. We just sit back and just watch them work. All right, and it's beautiful to see. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate, Trump said. The former president was not present at Mar-a-Lago. Instead, he was at Trump Tower, New York City. All right, his son, Eric Trump, informed him of the raid. The FBI and the U.S. Attorney's offices in Washington didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Spokespeople at Justice Department headquarters in Washington declined comment. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida, the Secret Service, and the Palm Beach Police Department deferred comment to the FBI. Two sources familiar with the matter said top Biden White House officials were not given advance notice of the raid which could potentially alter the course of both the upcoming midterms and an eventual Trump-Biden rematch in 2024. Although the investigation of Trump's handling of presidential records has been percolating for months, it has largely remained in the background while the January 6th Select Committee built a case that Trump committed crimes to disrupt. And if anybody saw that bullshit, and that's what it was, again, highlighting the fact that this is all a witch hunt. They do not, in my opinion, they do not want this guy back in office for some reason. And that reason could be, all right, the current administration is hand in hand with this globalist elite agenda, all right, this reset, this global reset, you know, the Klaus Schwab game, all right. Clearly, I think we could all agree, for those who have been paying attention, that he was not with this shot that everybody was encouraged to get in all the shutdowns. Definitely, he did not want, or was not, I should say, it was not very popular with him as things go. They needed to get him out of office, all right, for this thing to work. Because clearly the guy that's supposed to be at the head of this doesn't have all his faculties. He just made another gaffe the other day, all right, with Chuck Schumer. Anyway, his what is it called? You know, they might have to enact the 25th Amendment with this guy eventually. Because he is definitely a liability. Anyway, it says the National Archives and Records Administration had confirmed in February that it had sought to recover 15 boxes of records from Mar-a-Lago that it deemed improperly removed, including some marked as classified national security information. The archives confirmed at the time that it had been in touch with the Justice Department about the recovered documents. And let's be clear, all these motherfuckers are crooked, all right? Don't get it twisted. Our people just, oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Let's go to, because I watch, look at all these motherfuckers here, crooks, and more crooks. Let's go over here because I watch NTD News. And you've got the FBI director here, Christopher Wray. All right. And he goes on record as saying, denounces threats because Trump's constituents, his fan base, all right, evidently made some threats, all right, against law enforcement. Wray, who was appointed as the agency's director in 2016 by Trump himself, said violence against law enforcement is not the answer, all right? No matter what anybody's upset about or who they're upset with, all right? He says last year there were 73 law enforcement officers around this country who were killed in the line of duty. And I'm like, hey, so what? That's all? As in murdered in the line of duty. What about the ones that they've murdered? By contrast, it's the highest number since 9/11. Blah, blah, blah. Wray refused to answer questions and provide more details on the hours-long search where dozens of FBI agents reportedly executed a search warrant. All right. Since the August 8th raid on the former president's private residence, online messages have appeared calling for a response to the unannounced search. Reactions include lock and load and calls for federal agents and U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland to be assassinated. On the social network, see, that even highlights this division even more. And we've often told you it's going to be a civil war. All right, along with the so-called, but we were saying that before the so-called experts said that. So, It says on the social networking service Gab, one poster going by the name of Stephen said he was waiting the call to mount an armed revolution. Senator Rand Paul, Kentucky, said the search could lead to Garland's impeachment, urging an investigation to look into whether he misused his office. In response to the messages, Ray said it's important that we view the men and women of law enforcement as people, noting that they make heroic sacrifices for all Americans. And I'm going to skip this, bigging them up, all right? During Monday's search, agents reportedly ripped open an extra lock that the Justice Department and FBI had asked the former president to be installed in early June. Without notification or warning, an army of agents broke into Mar-a-Lago, went to the same storage area, and ripped open the lock that they had asked to be installed, Trump said. A surprise attack. Politics. And all the while, our country is going to hell. The former president's latest statements, if true, weaken the case that the FBI raided the house solely for the purpose of obtaining the records. Yeah, I mean, is there any doubt now? Anyway, continuing on, nothing had been hidden and nothing had been kept secret from them, which makes this all the more ridiculous. Bob confirmed that the federal agents were looking for presidential records at Mar-a-Lago during the raid. On Tuesday, the magistrate judge, who reportedly approved the search warrant, ordered the DOJ to file a response to a motion asking for the DOJ to unseal the warrant no later than August 15th, which is next week, of course. Neither the FBI nor DOJ has issued public comments about the raid. In fact, that's Monday, all right? The FBI declined to comment when contacted by the Epoch Times, and the DOJ has not responded to several requests for comment, all right? You got this demon down here, all right? But it's something else. Let's see. Oh, look at here. Blacks for Trump as a result. Look at this shit. New poll shows how FBI raid on Trump has motivated voters for 2022 midterms. So the next, let's see, this is August, let's see, September, October. You got 2.5 months here. All right. 2.5 months before the midterm, roughly. Say this may have handed him the GOP. And this all could be orchestrated too. I don't want to pass anything up. Like it says, never trust thine enemy. All right. Never. So we don't know if this is all staged. Get everybody all worked up and get this demon back in, and worse things happen. Who knows? Because like we always say, the political system is two wings of the same wicked, dirty bird. All right. Blacks for Trump. Get the fuck up out of here. They're and throwing your hand in with these devils, and there's a stark warning in the scriptures about that. Let's go to Isaiah. All right. So we know Psalms 83. Everybody is against us. We are the enemy to all the wicked elites. All right. This is Isaiah 13, and I will start at (6). It says, "Howl ye, for the day of the Most High Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt." And you see the beginnings of this shaping up now. All right, you got a famine in the works, with them culling a lot of farm animals, and Bill Gates buying up all the farmland that he can get a hold of. All these fires, these mysterious fires with these food processing facilities. All right, things are moving. All right. Verse 8, it says, "And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames." And that's coming. You can already see, you can hear the reports of people, just getting by, people that you wouldn't expect. All right, and the right people are starting to feel this. And by the right people, I mean these Edomites, these so-called white people. All right, but this is something that Jake has been dealing with for the longest. 9, verse 9 says, "Behold, the day of the Most High Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." 11, "And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease." And again, this is what you're seeing in the works. These devils aren't walking around with their chest all out like they used to, looking down at us. "What are you doing on my planet, you fucking nigger?" Because they're feeling it too. Now you, as I showed you in that little inset where it's got blacks for Trump too, now these motherfuckers, you know what? Hey, there's a scripture for that. Though hand join with the enemy, it's not going to, you're just going to, as I'm reading here, as I get to, hey. Anyway, 12, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir." It says, "Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger." 14, "And there shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land." You see that also, not as great as it's going to get, but people just making money here to send back to their native country. And then sooner or later, they're going to, fuck this. All right. 15, "Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword." 16, "Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished." You know what that is? You know what that is? Your wives shall be ravished. So, all these strong women, it's coming. It's coming. Let's get another one. Let's see. This is Proverbs 11 and 21. "Though hand join in hand," like I just showed you there, these Jakes also, they want to get with their enemy, Esau here. "The wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." So if you want to join with this devil, guess what? The punishment that's reserved for him, you're going to get that too. Ain't no saving this damn devil. All right. Let's see what else here. Yeah, this is the Attorney General, this piece of shit here. Let's see. Again, there's that picture of blacks for Trump. Wow. Didn't know you were black, dude. But in any case, let's see what else I got here. They won't spend too much time on this. Let's see. Let's see. I think that's it. So, as the last paragraph makes clear, it's not something that totally took them by surprise. It was just the timing of it. They knew sooner or later. And I think also not only the timing, but the to the extent that they went about things, in a grandiose way. They didn't expect, like kind of like a drug rate type of thing. All right. I think that took them by surprise. But that's also telling you that, hey, these are the times that we're in. I never would have thought that personally. They would have uh, went that hard, so to speak, but they did. All right. Hey, again, I have to bring up here because I can't believe I missed this one. Go to the New Testament. This is Mark 3rd chapter. Again, this is just the times we're in. Starting at 24, I believe it is. Yes. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. All right. 25, and if a house be divided, oh, and is it divided? That house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. And this is a beautiful thing, a beautiful time that we see here. All right. This devil is over. In more ways than one, it is over. He's stretched thin. You know, we make those comparisons about the ancient Roman Empire and this America being the revived Roman Empire. The same thing is happening. All right. He's spread too thin. Plus, what they're trying to do with this reset and crashing the dollar. All right. And man, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen between now and the beginning of the year, but definitely next year. Oh, if we hear that long. If we're here by next year, you're going to see some stark change. You think it's bad, you think it's been bad the last couple of years. Hey, this man knows, you know, he has but a short time, Revelation 12 and 12. He's making moves. Things are happening so quickly now. Prophecies are jumping off, literally jumping off the pages of the Bible. Hey, so with that, I'm going to end it here. Once again, this video is about the raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago home down in Florida. And they intended to make a spectacle of it. All right. Again, this has, as in his own words, and they witch hunt. And I've said that for the longest. They did not want this man back in office. It would appear that way anyway. Hey, so with that, shalom.